Welcome back. The annual Jozi Book Fair will run from the 10th to the 12th of November in Newtown Park, Johannesburg. This year's event is also in solidarity with the people of Palestine amid the onslaught and the war. The objective of the event is to promote a culture of reading as well as writing. Let's get more information on this as we speak to Nosipho Mdletshe of the Jozi Book Fair, and she's a coordinator there. Nosipho, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening, especially during the middle of a Bok and All Blacks match. But thank you so much for joining us. Can you just tell us a little bit more about the Jozi Book Fair, its background and what it aims to do?
Okay, thank you so much for having us on air today. So the Jozi Book Fair was established in 2009, and it really aimed to respond to the poor culture of reading and writing. So the project runs throughout the year. It works with children, it works with youth, and out-of-school youth. And what we really aim to do is to ensure that people have access to books, that we deepen the culture of reading. I think, as you know, that there's a very poor culture of reading in South Africa. So the festival is just part of the activities that we do. I think this year we're celebrating the 15th Jozi Book Fair, and we are very excited. It's open to the public, it's free, and it's also open for public to host events, launch their books, and for publishers, especially self and small publishers, to also exhibit and sell their books.
You made mention of a very poor reading culture in this country. I mean, they say about 41% of South Africans own fewer than 10 books in their homes. We do know that we have grade 4 learners that are not reading for understanding. And also now we are challenged by a culture of technology for a child to pick up a book versus picking up a tablet or a phone. How do you encourage for people to be able to combat all those problems that we are facing in just inculcating a culture of reading?
I mean, firstly, what we need to understand is that books are expensive. So there's like a big number of working class communities that generally don't have access to books, cannot afford to buy books. But I think also the biggest problem that we face is the fact that a lot of schools, especially public schools, don't have libraries, and there's so many communities that do not have libraries, and a number of libraries also closed after COVID-19. So I think what we have tried to do to just encourage people to read and to ensure that people and children read for meaning is to create study groups. So we have a number of study groups in schools, a number of study groups in community organizations, where we generally encourage children and youth to read together, come up with different activities that are exciting, that are based on a text that they can do, but also to link to technology and the fact that it has taken over. We have done things like read-alongs, where children can follow books and read books online as well. And we have WhatsApp study groups where people read in a group and discuss books. But I think it's still important that while a lot of people have turned into technology, that we still keep the culture of people actually physically meeting and discussing books and reading physical books. So we also have study groups every second Saturday where we bring together youth, out-of-school youth, children, and we just get them to read and to read together. And I think that for us has really worked.
I mean, you made mention earlier on that this would be the 15th edition. What do you think makes this book fair so popular? What's your winning recipe, and what can people look forward to this year?
I mean, I think for us, what makes it popular is that, of course, we've run it every year, but because it's not just a festival that we run, there's a lot of work that we put into organizing communities, making sure that children have books. We donate books to 85 libraries in Joburg, and we've also just started Bategi Bakanya College, where we sell books cheaply. I think it's about the work that you put in terms of mobilizing communities and not just busing them in to come for the festival. And I think this year for the 15th Jozi Book Fair, we have a lot of fun activities for the whole family. children will be showcasing their work. So maybe to just break it down, for the Saturday, we'll have children and youth that will be performing, expressing themselves through different art forms. They will be launching their books, poetry that they've written throughout the year. Youth will also be launching the book that came out of a short story competition that we have done throughout the year. And we'll have a number of skills workshops for youth and for the public, adults, around photography, how to do poetry, writing, and theatre. And one of the highlights, of course, is the Opali Hulero soccer tournament that we'll be doing in commemoration of Comrade Opali Hulero, who was the founder of the Jozi Book Fair. It's a friendly five-a-side. And we have also a number of roundtables looking at 40 years of the Durban strikes and the labor movements. And we'll be launching Comrade Moss in that session as well. But also the biggest highlight for the book fair this year is solidarity with Palestine. So we've called a number of artists, social movements to participate through poetry, through theatre, and the different art forms, just to show their solidarity to what is happening.
Okay, Nosipho, thank you so much for that, and we wish you all the best. We certainly hope that this culture will be inculcated even more. That's Nosipho Mdletshe, the coordinator at the Jozi Book Fair.